On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
Google has applied maximize conversion value to the most recent earnings call.
Try not to be sad. Google is sunsetting the call ad.
and Google has no business rolling out a new type of site link, but they're doing it anyway.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shop.
I'm Julia Mateer.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on November 1st, 2024. And yes, I am wearing the same shirt as the last time I was on this show.
Whoa, that's exciting.
I just got back from a trip and all my clothes are dirty, okay? I'm horrified. I would never do such a thing.
You took all your clothes across the pond.
I mean, all the good ones. I have some new things, you guys. You're going to be impressed. I have some new pieces.
I like the look. You're like, I want my slides, SMX London, where you were talking, to match my dress.
Mm-hmm.
A+ job.
Thank you.
I'm like, is this really going to match anything? It matched perfectly.
Yeah. So you guys really aren't ready for like the looks that are going to be coming in the coming weeks once they're clean. But right now it's just this blue shirt that's been the only thing I've worn for the past 2 years. So
I'll wear a blue shirt for you next week.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Okay.
How was the UK?
It was really fabulous.
How was the presentation?
I thought I did a pretty good job.
Do you mean, okay.
I don't like
you did a
talking about
great
it.
job. I've seen the presentation. I know you did a great job.
I
You're just being
practiced.
modest.
You know, I practiced so hard. And honestly, the worst I ever did was when I did it in front of you. Like, I wish you could have been there when I did it in front of everyone
I'm sure
else.
it was great.
Because, yeah, I just turned it on. I got some laughs. And when I can really practice and put my whole heart into something is when I shine. I don't like to be put on the spot.
You're very tough on yourself.
Thanks.
It's a good thing and a bad thing. You lighten up, you're amazing.
Thanks. But there were some really amazing talks. I met so many cool people. I hadn't met Anu in person.
I've never met her in person either.
Yeah, she's tall.
Really?
Yep.
How tall?
Like taller than me, like your height. She's also wearing heels. Like she's one of those tall girls who's not like, she owns it.
Okay.
Digital Sam I Am, Brad Geddes.
I'm so jealous.
Fred Valleys, Nava Hopkins.
Look at you.
It's nice.
PPC royalty over
Bumping
there.
elbows. It's really fun. Yeah, a lot of great talks. But now we're back here and we got to read the news. So before we get into that, we want to thank Wix for sponsoring this week's show. So if you've been with us for a while, you know that Wix Studio is the intuitive way for agencies and enterprises to design exceptional sites. Wix Studio has amazing features for so many industries, so events, hotels, B2B, and they have a really awesome page on their website where you can see all the different features for different industries. But this time of year, it's really all about e-commerce, right? We all know that. So I wanted to take some time to talk about why Wix Studio is the best option for building e-commerce sites at scale. So you can build beautiful product pages and category pages and customize the look and layout of any component of the page. You can generate product descriptions with built-in AI tools and extend capabilities with native integrations to offer gift cards, loyalty programs, and more right from Wix Studio. You can also maximize sales with customized checkouts. These sound really cool. So for example, you could set up a rule with triggers for discounts, add fees for gift wrapping, or for handling, and you can define validations based on custom criteria. Wix Studio also integrates with the world's leading marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, Wish, Google, Facebook, and Instagram. So you're in great hands. It also integrates with 80 plus global payment providers for you to get paid. We love that. So it is absolutely the best way to build exceptional stores that exceed client expectations, but don't just take my word for it. There's an amazing page on the Wix site that just talks all about e-commerce. So check it out at wix.com/studio/e-commerce. Wix.com/studio/e-commerce. Thank you, Wix. Getting into the news this week, Google is rolling out, they're in pilot. I don't think they've really announced them yet. business links for search ads. And I am not part of the pilot, so I'm getting most of my information from ppcnewsfeed.com. And these are a little confusing when you're reading the article because they are a lot like Sitelinks, but they're business links. And it says business links, this is from the Google Help document, is a new asset type with enhancement features that allow you to target customized and varied user intents all in a single search ad. So they're kind of set up like site links, but there's like multiple assets. You can have multiple business link text, multiple descriptions, but it's the same final URL. So I don't really get that like different intent piece of it. It just seems like an RSA for site links to me.
I have no clue how to even understand this.
It seems like it's an RSA for site links. It's just really throwing me off. Like you get to put different variations of your headlines and descriptions, but they're not headlines.
Oh, and then it all
business
goes the same.
links.
So it's like like an RSA site.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But then they're like, you can capture different intents. It's like the same page kind of usually has the same intent. So how are they different from site links? It says business links have the same serving behavior as site links, but they don't replace them. Both compete in the auction and can be displayed together or independently. So how is that going to look?
Oh my God.
Like you've got 4 spots for site links usually. Are they going to be like mixed in together? I'm hoping we get like an official announcement because right now this is very fuzzy to me. Also note, business links offer increased character limits for headlines and descriptions. So it's the typical 30 for the headlines, but they're business link text, air quotes, and 90 for descriptions like we're used to in RSAs. Google recommends creating at least 6 business links, and there are also business link enhancements. These leverage Google AI to generate additional headlines and improve your link headlines and descriptions, boosting ad query relevance and performance. And by default, business link enhancements are enabled, but they can be easily disabled in campaign settings under business link enhancements. This is very weird to me. I feel like we're going to find out more about this. I feel like it's how we've been talking about like different ad types and things are looking different in the wild. I think like changes are coming and it's going to be more clear soon. But right now, it just seems like an RSA version of a site link.
Yeah. The only logical explanation is Google needs to figure out search ads for AI overviews. And like, so for some reason, site links aren't good enough, or maybe not everybody put descriptions and titles and or descriptions and site links. This is wild to me. Like, that's a lot of work to add all this stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then to not even send people to a different location. Unless you're trying to match, because it's an AI overview, let's say we're in that hypothetical, that it could match on a bunch of different stuff. So they're having up to 6. That was the recommendation, right? 6.
Yeah.
That they're like, hey, give us a couple so that we can choose what matches that overview the best. I really don't understand this.
And I cannot picture how it would show with a site link either. That's like weird to me. So
Yeah. This is odd.
yeah. So
Julia,
that
your
was
thoughts?
season in the wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird. Feels like a lot for what?
I don't know what yet. I think we're going to hear more on this. So, and I'm not a part of the beta, so I'm not going to worry too much about it yet.
We have some big news over on Google. They reported their earnings, and it was the biggest ad revenue quarter ever over at Google. Their search revenue was up 12% to $49.39 billion. Revenue was $65 billion, up 10% from last year's quarter. Great quarter all around for Google. There are no single coins left in a couch anywhere across the world. The cushions have been shaken.
Mine exclusively have popcorn.
Yeah, that's
No
all
coins.
there will ever be.
Yep.
Those cushions are shaken. There is a lot of interesting information in here as well. They had, and Reddit also released earnings at the same time. They had 16% increase in revenue and their stock shot up as well.
Interesting.
Shocking.
Yep.
And there was kind of a lot of information in there where they, at least for the AI overview standpoint, they're able to cut the technology cost or expenditure by 90% on that. And additionally, they had said that 25% of all code now written by Google is done by AI. which is like scary to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Because we're in these accounts all the time and they're always like, oh, it's AI. I just want Google Ads to work. I want
Yeah.
Search Console to work. I want analytics. I just want things to work, you know?
I see some of the worst examples of AI in Google Ads accounts. So I just shudder to think what the code would say. Don't like it.
So we talked about a bunch of the search, and then I said, yeah, YouTube was up in a big way. The way that they reported things for YouTube is that they look at ad and subscription. So it's not really like ad or subscription. It would be great to see like how much of this comes from subscriptions, but that
It's like
was
YouTube Premium subscriptions to what?
yeah. So like if you get YouTube Premium, they roll that in on the earnings with all ad dollars.
They don't have to tell the stakeholders.
Apparently not, at least according to Sundar Pichai. At Sundar
You,
Pichai,
you don't own stonks in Google, right?
I own mutual funds somehow, so I'm sure I have
Yeah.
something, but I do not own like a single stock of Google. Anyway, the ad and subscription revenue over the past 4 quarters for YouTube surpassed $50 billion as well. Yeah, doing well over there. Doing well.
Very
It's almost like somebody came up with an idea of setting the CPCs themselves, and themselves being the ad platform,
Mm-hmm.
and then setting people up in the same format so that you can compete with each other, driving CPCs up, driving clicks down. That's what it seems like.
Then taking eCPC away.
Good quarter over there, Google. Hopefully you own some Goog stock.
All right. And then Google is sunsetting call ads and migrating them to responsive search ads. So this was first spotted by Dario Zanoni on LinkedIn. Google said at some point in the future, likely next year, you'll no longer be able to create new call ads. And all newly created call ads will require a landing page. And then all existing call ads without a final URL won't be automatically migrated to a responsive search ad.
They used to be call only ads
Mm.
when young people weren't around and you didn't need a URL. Did you
Wow.
know?
I did.
Well, now you know some history.
But Jenny Marvin replied to PPC Greg on X and said there's not a specific date at this point, but likely will be early next year, and advertisers will be alerted ahead of the change. So Google also has a help doc on this that has more information.
So they just say call extensions if you want to do that?
Assets, Shep.
Yep. Sorry. Pardon me.
You sound like a young, an old person.
Pardon
Young
me.
people call them assets.
Well, it's still very confusing.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something, Shep? The fact that there's asset groups in PMAX underneath campaigns, and then you have to go to a different dropdown to find assets, and assets aren't part of asset groups, is a very difficult thing to teach new marketers.
Yeah.
If you think realistically with what would be in an asset group, what are your thoughts?
Creative.
Assets.
Yeah.
They're not in
Another
assets.
word for assets.
Yeah, they're not in assets.
It's-
Assets are not in asset groups.
And that is a change that I still don't I feel like we're still going to find out why they did that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And also, we have some new hires that are doing phenomenal. And I try to explain things. And it's very, very, very hard. We should make a TikTok about it or something. Because I have to explain what exact match is for keywords and what exact match is for negative keywords. Because they're two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
I have to explain what a product grouping is and a listing group is for PMAX. It's like, why are we doing all of these things? And then you have to talk about asset groups and how assets are not included in asset groups. It is so absolutely dumbfounding. Is that a word?
Dumbfounded is.
It's just so perplexing to try to explain this stuff. And I every now and then you forget it and you're like, oh no, this is like all sane, normal things. And then you bring somebody on who's never seen it before and you find yourself listening back saying, whatever you just said makes no sense.
Well, you won't have to explain what call ads are anymore. So
Yeah. A win is a win.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is from Advanced Web Ranking, and it's an organic Google click-through rate tool where you can see organic click-through rates by position, industry, and device. So the data is free to see all the time, and then you can sign up to see data for your own specific keywords. We'll have the link in our newsletter and in Discord, so check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a hashtag fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from PPC Greg by way of Drew Cannon at DC Digital US on X. And PPC Greg had a little chart up there. Drew Cannon quote tweeted it and said, "This should be a crime. If you run hashtag PPC, I would recommend everyone really look at your phrase match keywords if you see numbers like this." Craig didn't say it was phrase match or exact match, but I'm assuming it's phrase match. Drew's a smart guy. In his search terms, PPC Greg can see there were 10 clicks, $1.12 a click. Overall, he spent $11.15 on the search terms he could see. On the search terms he couldn't see, he's got 12 clicks, so 2 more. We can't see the cost per click because Google crosses that one out.
Mm-hmm.
They forgot how to do math on that. AI, but we can't figure out how to show you a CPC for the other search terms. 12 clicks cost $99.33. So in one case, the terms that PPC Greg could see, 10 clicks, $11. On terms he couldn't see, 12 clicks, and nearly $100.
Absolutely despicable.
I agree with Drew.
Yeah.
Crime.
Straight to jail.
Crime or not crime?
Crime.
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 How could we be doing this? Why are we doing this?
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week, Google announced a new feature called the Search Bidding Exploration feature. And it is for advertisers using TROAS bidding with broad match keywords.
Before you get into this,
Okay.
this name is a name that sounds too good to be true. Search Bidding Exploration. This is like some Lewis and Clark S.
Yep. I think you're onto something here.
It sounds like a name that's a great name for a bad product.
I think you're onto something.
Okay. I have not fully read this. I have to report on it tomorrow for its name.
So it says in search campaigns using the TROAS strategy, you can enable search bidding exploration directly within the campaign settings. Once activated, this feature will automatically adjust the TROAS target, lowering it by up to 10% to help explore and capture new traffic opportunities. You select TROAS in your setting. There's a new setting line for bidding exploration. You can check it on or off. No word on if this is a default or not. I'm assuming it is. Whenever something's bad, I assume it is. And I would also like to make a prediction that they're going to change that 10% limit at some point.
You just ruined my topic I was going to say, because I came into this fresh. I've been very busy today. This launched on Wednesday when we record. I was going to say I'm pleasantly surprised that it's only 10% off. And the example given, I'm assuming that the target return on ad spend that was implemented in that campaign was 200%.
Yeah.
Because it says it can go down to 180%. I think that's a nice safeguard. And because of that fact, it's not like eCPC where it could go like wildly one way or another with no guardrails. eCPC did well, RAP. But the fact that it's only 10%, I don't hate that.
I also just think TROAS isn't guaranteed to hit your target. It often comes below. So I don't really
Yeah.
understand
Usually.
why this matters.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's something with like DOJ stuff and they have to be more careful with things moving forward. But yeah, I mean, I think it's not unreasonable when you ask for 200% and you get 180 back.
Also super weird that it's rolling out for search and not shopping.
That's super weird, yeah.
Everything about this, I'm just...
Because is it T-RAWs only?
Yep, T-RAWs with broad match keywords, like the setting.
Like search and shopping. I mean, I guess if you have value-based bidding, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't use that for other...
Yeah.
For non-e-com, so...
I gotta say, it's better than expected. I saw it and I'm like, I don't have time for this today. I'll do it live on the show. This is better than I expected.
I just think it's automatically enabled, and I don't like that. And I think that they are going to change at 10%, and I don't like that. I guess everything about it now is fine. Next up here, we have an update to the story from last week where the person got the email from Google saying that they made changes to ads in their account to improve ad strength. Just like, hey, I did this for you. It's great.
Thank me later.
Because this just feels like an alternate reality. This is not something they're supposed to be able to do. But Ginny responded from her official Google Ads account and said that this did happen. She said, hi, Andy, following up here to confirm that we have investigated this and found we did not properly follow our processes for ensuring approvals are granted before making changes. I can also confirm that this was a mistake and not intentional. That said, we take these issues very seriously and are taking steps to address them. Not intentional. He sent an email saying I did this. It was intentional. It wasn't Ginny's intention.
That's what I was going to say. That was not instructed behavior, but it was intentional behavior. Very intentional. To increase ad strength, there was specific intentionality behind it.
There should be a lot. And it wasn't in change history, right?
That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem.
Oh.
Biggest problem is you cannot see that change was made. That, I want to give credit to Ginny. I want to give credit to Google. It will be easy to just not respond to it.
Yes.
It's much harder to respond to it. But I try to teach my kids, what can you learn from this? Right? You made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. What do you learn from it, right? The biggest thing that they should learn from it is you cannot be a third party that has access to Google Ads accounts where their entire job and their entire pay is based on getting people into different into different programs and having them spend more, getting more ad strength, whatever it is, and hide that in the change history. You cannot do that. That's the number one takeaway. If there's a change made by a third party person masquerading as Google, that needs to be in change history. It has to be.
That would be great if Google did learn from that and
That's
make
the
that
takeaway.
change. But we don't know that that's happening yet.
Right now, this is me. Plea to you, Google Ads. If you have third parties that are being compensated based on programs and incentives that advertisers need to get into, all of the changes cannot be wiped or cleared or invisible to change history. That is a massive problem.
This person wouldn't have known if they didn't get the email.
Yeah.
100% agree. And then you look at it and be like, why nobody made a change here? This is the step. Next step. Admit it. Love it. Next step. Hey, any changes that are happening by any Google employee, go into change history. Not that hard.
They should also have to, on their end, like put in the email address of the person who verified or confirmed the change, allowed the change.
That's one step further than I was asking. I would like that too, but I'll take anything at this point. I just want in change history. A change is made to an ads account. Put it in change history. It's not that hard.
Next up here, Mike Ryan is giving us an update on the Temu situation. He says Temu has been ramping up Meta ads steadily since August, recently arriving at a high last seen in May. Meanwhile, in Google Ads, they've been retreating from their position all year long. He says, I've been saying that their G ads, that's what Google calls themselves now, efficiency is trash and Meta is likely driving more app installs. So very interesting that.
Can we do a new segment?
Okay.
Sponsored by Wix. Have you ever used Temu?
No.
Have you ever used Temu?
No.
I know you have.
Okay.
Oh, that's the whole segment?
That's it.
And are you going to ask us next week?
No.
I also don't see a lot of ads for it.
Yeah, I don't really either, I feel like.
Oh, I see tons of ads.
Like
Oh, because-
there was a phase where I did,
Yeah.
I guess it's gone away a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like it had its moment.
Well, certainly not on Google. I guess
Yeah.
they're pulling back. So I'm sure Mike Ryan will let us know if anything changes. Thank you, Mike.
And aside, there's nothing that's more hit or miss than a product from Temu. There's like no in between when you order from there.
It's either amazing or terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I use it for like sports gear and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's super expensive. And it's like, whatever.
Oh, just like a safety helmet.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
no,
what
no,
kind
no,
of
like a
sports
goalie
gear?
jersey. It's like a short and
Yeah,
like
okay.
top set.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $70 for it. I'll pay $7.
In LSA land, Anthony Higman is letting us know that local service ads are introducing 2 new industries. They are kitchen remodeling and bathroom remodeling, and these are focusing on specific home improvement needs. Google also noted that because these new verticals optimize for higher value job types, you may see an increase in lead prices following the migration. And that starting in 90 days, the kitchen and bathroom services you've selected. So this is an email to Anthony that I'm reading. So it was originally selected under general contractor. They will be migrated to kitchen remodeling and bathroom remodeling. Again, in 90 days, you may start noticing fewer leads during the migration phase.
I can see the kitchen side. Is bathrooms? Are they that?
Bath fitter.
Well, that wouldn't be higher lead quality,
Yeah.
right? That'd be like one day. You pay me $900.
Sponsored by Bath Fitter.
I don't know. I would think general contractor would be worth more than bathrooms.
Yeah.
I could see kitchens being expensive.
Mhm.
Maybe certain people just specialize in. If you are bath fitter, though, you don't think.
I don't think they would use this if the cost is higher and you are.
Oh, I see what you're
You
saying.
know what I'm saying? Like,
But this is auto migrating. Like, I feel like you don't have a choice if you want.
I just think it's strange that they're saying that these are higher value job types for like bathrooms. To me, I mean, I guess if you have a custom tile or a steam shower or something, it'd be expensive.
Right.
I thought plumbing was like a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a great trade to get into.
Yeah. Next up, Frank Sandman is updating us on some Bing ad label testing. Let's see how long it takes you guys to spot the ad label. Have you found it yet?
Mhm.
I know this.
Was it
one.
on It's New?
Yep.
You know,
Real listener over here, huh?
I was out this week and I had a crazy day today and I'm wearing
what
the
were
same
you
shirt.
even doing, Shep?
No comment. No comment. So the ad label is after the site name and it says ad, not sponsored.
And it's still that little teeny ad.
Yeah.
I just love it so much. Oh my gosh. I feel like it probably feels like what you feel like when you go home to see Frankie, your new cat.
Yep, pretty much how I feel. Yeah. I'm just like, oh.
It's so good. We get so many clicks. Oh, it's so perfect. Yeah. Oh, look at you, Bing.
Next up here, YouTube is adding the ability to block specific categories of ads from appearing on your content at the channel level. So YouTube channels have always been able to block categories from AdSense, but now you'll be able to do it in YouTube itself. And in this screenshot, there's options for apparel, arts and entertainment, auto and vehicles, beauty and personal care. I hope there's something that starts with a P that is happening next week, because I would think a lot of people would want those turned off. I've hit my limit. Okay?
While we were sitting down, I got another text from another person that is up for the event that's happening.
And I have realized I have like a trauma with baseball, because growing up, like my family, like I've got a lot of like sports fans. So the sports were always on the TV. Spent a lot of time sleeping in my parents' room, was always on as we fell asleep.
Okay.
And the World Series is on, and it's like the most dedicated time for baseball, and it's right before Halloween, and the ads are so scary.
They're awful.
And I have
awful.
so much, and now it's like my own kids are in the room. We have to mute the TV. It's so scary. And the only thing worse is every 4 years when you go horror film, people fighting.
You can't say the word here. We're going to be.
Horror film, like it's just so. And then you go overseas, they're watching us like it's like a sport.
They should be. This
They're
is
all like,
so-
tune in for the coverage.
of the thing
next
that's
week,
happening on the 4th.
They're
of
laughing
November.
at us.
I'm telling you, I have never, ever been spammed as hard as I have been in my life by one of these people that we're going to be talking about on November 5th. It is incredible. All I do is get text messages, and all I do is submit stop, no, end. Every single one is different, and I have to read it and be like, can you please take me out of this? I just don't know what is happening in that. And also, why can't anybody just talk about what they believe in?
Yeah.
Everything is scary. It's all slander. It's slander, slander, slander. I despise this. I cannot wait. Maybe till the 6th when people they have 24-hour cool off.
Yeah,
period.
okay.
Until the World Series is over. Anyway, I hope that those are two ad categories, horror films and you know what. Next up here from Hannah Kobzova on LinkedIn, Google updated its Raise Your Budgets recommendation. So this is only the view within the recommendations tab, not when you're looking at all campaigns on the campaign page. And she says what's new is there are clear insights on trending data, more potential clicks for your campaign. It shows you how many more you're going to get. There's a visual graph highlighting growth potential, and there's insights to optimize your budget effectively. And then she says now it's more detailed and more visual versus before. So we'll have a screenshot in the notes. But I don't like the recommendations tab. So
I like the fact that at least they show you why. Like raise your budgets with no data is worse than raise your budgets with data. Like this is something.
Yeah.
And you can at least see what could happen.
So I hope we get this in campaigns. I don't know if we will, but it'll just be like spend more for less clicks.
Yeah, literally.
Also, one story I forgot from last week. It came out like right when we were recording. Google will be pausing those ads related to November 4th. What happens then? We can't say it here on YouTube. They will be pausing those ads on the 5th. So if you have that label of what's going on the 4th, you'll be automatically paused on the 5th, which I cannot wait for.
It'll be a beautiful day.
Can you pause the texts somehow, please? I get text in the
sure.
middle of the night.
I feel like someone just wants to like take you out.
No, it's because I'm an independent and somebody's like, oh, just hit this list as many times as you can.
I think they think you're like single.
Everybody who texts me unsolicited, I will never vote for you. I'm sorry.
There's not going to be many options left.
Yeah.
Wait, why
They're all
because I'm
texting you.
single?
I'm just, hey, Greg, what's up? It's the text.
That is not.
You want to hang out?
The
That's what I
text is,
saw.
we're losing Pennsylvania. You have to act now. I was like, sorry, bro. I'm in New York.
You're going to slip and say the wrong thing. We got to move on.
I
Next up from Sachin Patel. Okay, so Barry Schwartz covered this on Search Engine Roundtable. He's calling it scrollable search ad categories, but they look like shopping ads to me. But you're scrolling down the SERP and there's like different headings. This search is for headphones. There's like an option for wireless headphones, or you could click gaming headphones, and then it's like a horizontal scroll on the page. So
I like this.
yeah, I do too.
Love it.
Next up here, via Andrew Hutchinson for Social Media Today, LinkedIn is launching a new hiring assistant tool for recruiters, which will enable HR managers to automatically generate a short list of LinkedIn users who look like a good match for an advertised role. And Andrew hated this, but I think it's kind of cool. If you're looking to just like vet out certain people,
Yeah.
I think
This
it's
is what
great.
AI should do.
Yeah. Okay, I refuse to cover the next story, so.
This is a medical story. Shep.
Lady.
Literally a medical class story. There's nothing to be ashamed about here. But according to Google, they are updating their sexual health and wellness policy. So starting on November 11th, they have the new policy that will go into place. The policy will allow the promotion of personal lubricants, that might not be medical, and prescription drugs, that is medical, Shep, for erectile dysfunction and hypoactive sexual desire disorder on the Google Display Network and YouTube, as long as they're not like suggestive and all that stuff. I didn't even know what the sexual desire disorder was. I looked it up, probably shouldn't have.
I won't be.
I recommend you at home. You know, I mean, hey, no judgment here. But you can now promote personal lubricants in the following countries only: Australia, Brazil, Canada, Germany, Portugal, New Zealand, Spain, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Anyone else? Apologies. No ads. Good luck. And then certified pharmaceutical manufacturers and advertisers can do those prescription drugs in Canada, New Zealand, and the United States.
Wow. A new dawn.
All right. And speaking of performance, I want to take a minute to talk about our sponsor this week, Wix and Wix Studio. I cannot stress enough how much we love advertisers, not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. It's all, anybody who sponsors the show is vetted and is great. And Wix puts in the work. They're building like their own news and helpful information. I guess a little bit news, but more like just helpful resources that are extremely vetted. As you know, you're a contributor there, Shep, correct?
Yep.
And they just launched the Wix Studio SEO course. You can learn how to SEO from the pros. Speaking of some amazing people that help put this absolutely free course together from you, Aleda Solis talks about technical SEO. Crystal Carter is talking about SEO on Wix Studio if you want to learn about that. If you want something about like SEO reporting, Judith Lewis has you covered on that. And if you're looking for keyword research, you have Andrew Koch who can go cover that for you as well. There's just so much information over on Wix Studio. They have fantastic information. They have the course. Morty also wrote the complete SEO guide, updated here in January.
What a guy.
And we have clients all the time, like, where do I learn about this? What do I do? We have these things that we created in-house, but also go take the Wix Studio SEO course. Go read the complete SEO guide by Morty. And not only that, they have articles and templates and things that help you do better. And I want to, Joshua George just released on October 8th, the technical SEO for e-commerce, a step-by-step guide to getting your online store crawled and indexed. And Joshua goes through why stores need technical SEO, how to get started step-by-step, things like establishing a baseline, doing the audit, securing the site, identifying 404 pages, or 4XX pages, everything that you would ever need to know from an e-commerce side of SEO. Joshua George has you covered. And because he has two names, I'm going to cover two stories from Joshua as well. He has the SEO agency project proposal template. You can go through. All you got to do is put in your name, your email, and you get a full-on template. You just say, I want to make a copy. It's in Google Docs. It's in Google Docs. And it says, change your name here. Here's the SEO proposal for your client.
How much does that cost?
The cost is free, Shep.
Wow.
And that's how you know who you should go with, what side you should be on, is the people helping you out. I cannot say that enough. I sound like a broken record. I don't even care. Joshua George has it. I will go check out the SEO project proposal if you're looking to step up your proposal game. And if you want the shopping SEO, check out his article there. At every step of the way, Wix has you covered. Wix.com, Wix.com, Wix.com. All right. And big news from Google. AI overviews are rolling out to 100 plus countries and 1 billion plus users. Barry Schwartz has a full list of all those countries over on searchengineroundtable.com. I think this is fantastic. If you're having this experience for one country, you should have it for everybody. Like, start rolling it out, start letting people experience it, especially when you have these competitors. You have Search GPT looming. You've got Perplexity, your favorite search engine. I love it. Like, the EU is a little fuzzy though. Like the UK, you can target, but not everything in the EU. So I would tell you to go check it out over on searchengineroundtable.com. All right. There was also a big hullabaloo. We're going to go hullabaloo over at Google. Google had invited some people that were hit the hardest by the HCU, or Helpful Content Update, out to go talk. Now,
so again, that Mojo Dojo thing?
They made it. Retro Dojo,
yeah.
Or Dodo, Retro Dodo, whatever it is. I saw them in a mask on a plane going out over there.
They wore masks?
Yeah, I'm sure they don't want to be sick.
Oh.
No, like a Halloween mask.
No, because it's like, isn't it like video game stuff? So I thought they were like cosplaying.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I think they're coming from Europe and trying to be respectful of whatever. And Mike Hardaker.com wrote up a piece called I Drank the Kool-Aid at the 2024 Google Web Creator Summit, and breaks down everything that he saw there. Barry also covers it at Search Engine Roundtable and Search Engine Land. I'm just going to read some of what Mike has. He's one of these people hit by the HCU. Not a pretty story. Seems like a great person for everything I've talked about. And he also calls out some of the things that are ranking for terms that he does in-person reviews for that have been really tampered down by the HCU and some of the garbage that's surfacing.
And was Danny there, and has he been seen?
Yes, Danny was there, and Mike has a picture with Danny as well.
Wellness check.
So Mike said he got to ask a question. And it sounds like he was like asking a bunch of questions even when they were talking, and like he just couldn't help himself, because you'll find out why in a second. But Mike says, we're now 13 months since HCU or Helpful Content Update rolled out. I don't believe a single website has recovered. There's plenty of talk on social media. Nobody's fully recovered. And he goes, I just need to know how long this is going to take until the next update. And if you truly think any of the next updates will have the ability to recover from this. We have tried everything possible in this room, throwing spaghetti at walls. We've tried everything. He goes on to then say, I'm 44 years old. Luckily, I don't have a mortgage. I'm barely getting by. I'm eating at the food bank now. I had grossed $250,000 last year, and I just don't know where to go from here. My traffic is down 97%. I want to trust in Google. I want to trust in the process, but this is really scary as a publisher and content creator. And so Pandu Nayak from Google responded and said, this is all according to Mike. For the record, you can go read the entire article, and I recommend that you do. And Pandu says, I have to say I'm very, very sorry for you. This is not great at all. I can't give you any guarantees about recovery or not. I think that would not be responsible for me to say, because I can't tell what is going to happen. It's just the unfortunate state of how we operate here. We are listening to you. I think the whole reason we're having this conference at all is for us to hear you out, to get our teams to hear you out. Our goal is to surface great content for users. I suspect there is a lot of great content you guys are creating that we are not surfacing to our users, but I can't give you any guarantees. Like, why say hey, you have great content probably, but you're eating at a food bank?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Awful. I don't know. You can go read the whole thing. It's not good. And then some other people had said, it might not be content related. And it obviously was at the same time as a helpful content update, which whatever. It's a bad scene all around. Speaking of bad scenes, Glenn Gabe has a post out called A Nightmare on Affiliate Street, where he looks at some major drops from Forbes Advisor, AP News Byline, Timestamp, MarketWatch Guides, CNN Underscored, basically all these kind of separate but similar, at least domain-wise, sites that really took a beating recently as of the kind of beginning of October and maybe slightly end of September. And Glenn said, Google's still quiet about the site reputation abuse algorithm. And they had announced it back on March 5th, 2024. Everything initially was not really algorithmic. It was all manual. People got basically 2 months notice that they were going to be hit by this, and they had a chance. So everything initially was manual. Glenn was speculating this could be the site reputation abuse policy rolling out algorithmically in your Forbes, talking about CBD gummies and ED pills or whatever you're doing. That's legal now in Google Ads. And that it could be algorithmic. Glenn got confirmation that there is no algorithmic site reputation abuse policy rollout. So whatever this is not related to the site reputation abuse policy. I think site reputation abuse policy is so dumb because they changed it in the guidelines to be not about the abuse part, but about who is making the content. They're like, if you're a third party, if you don't have people that are employed by you and instead it's third party content, that would be against the guide. No, if we're marketing clock talking about digital marketing and all of a sudden we talk about water balloons, that should be reputation abuse or something. You know what I mean? It's like if we start selling clocks, that's not what we do. Just because we have clock in our name doesn't mean we should set up clocks.marketingclock.com.
Yeah.
So apparently this isn't it. I'm just confused in general. I don't understand what or where this is, but Glenn got confirmation from Danny at first and then from a Googler second that this was not the algorithmic update of site reputation abuse policy. Whatever. Bing is recommending against batch mode for Index Now. Index Now lets you get right into the index in Bing, but Ryan Siddle had posted on LinkedIn that he tried to use URL groups for Index Now, and you need the error message that Bing is giving is saying, we do not want you to use batch mode in the batch mode upload in Bing. So don't use batch mode if you're trying to get in fast. All right, and NerdWallet is revealing costly Google SEO visibility challenges, according to Barry Schwartz over Search Engine Roundtable. NerdWallet has really great content, in my opinion, and according to their earnings call, it was pretty brutal, quote unquote. Their credit cards revenue in Q3 dropped 16% year over year, and according to NerdWallet, it was primarily due to pressures in organic search traffic. We reported about 6 months ago the fact that Google is bringing credit card information into Google, and they had like preloaded like 5,000 credit cards or something like that. That may be a factor, like that zero-click element. And one of the head of content actually come into our old office from NerdWallet. He was like the head of content generation or something. NerdWallet does a fantastic job. The steps that they went through that he detailed to me were like so like quality first, such quality. And so I don't think this is like helpful content-ish. It's more just like my assumption is Google is dominating this with their own stuff. Okay, next up, Google says it's doubtful that you'll see a big ranking drop over Core Web Vitals issues. John Mueller said, we've been pretty clear the Core Web Vitals are not giant factors in rankings, and I doubt you'd see a big drop just because of that. And he goes on to say, Core Web Vitals are important in general, but when it comes to search rankings, they've never been that important. It's pretty funny because Shep, you and I sit in some meetings where it seems like Core Web Vitals, we don't do SEO for this company, seem like Core Web Vitals are the end all be all.
Or some would say vital.
Yes, not vital. All right. There was a infographic that I saw on social media today about facial expressions that the top YouTubers use. I just like this because a lot of people make YouTube videos, and you can see some of the top content creators like Dude Perfect, Ludwig, Mr. Beast, PewDiePie. Do you follow any of these people, Julia?
Not any of these people, no.
And you can see if they're like surprised, happy, angry, confused, like fear-based, and what they typically use of their face. I just thought this was funny because we took photos and we're like, all right, do surprised, do I'm afraid. And it's like, oh, this is exactly that. But if you want to know what people are using, you can go check it out over on social media today. Follow us on Discord and check out our LinkedIn newsletter. It's really great. You can just get instantly delivered to you all the news of the week.
If one of these pictures of me was in this post, I would die.
Why?
Sad. It was terrible when we had to do that photo shoot.
You'd be disgusted. You'd be in the disgusted one.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you did not like that photo shoot.
I did not.
Don't you have to do it again?
Okay, something else you won't like, Shep, is from Search Engine Roundtable. Google Search Console had no performance showing for some users on Monday of this week. It was just broken.
It's great.
Yeah. Hey, you know, in other news, Google's using AI for 25% of its code. All right. And lastly, here in organic from Search Engine Roundtable, Google has a frequently saved label that is showing up in the SERPs. So in the SERPs, one example has like kind of like one little note, and one example has like multiple notes in there. It's sort of like the icon that's being used for it. And if you look at it, it says, hey, you frequently saved this. I don't know anybody that saves search engine results. What is that? Google's tried for a long time to do that. Be like recently clicked on, recently visited, recently something. I don't know. Nobody's saving these things. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And another thing that doesn't make any sense is the image that Barry used in the article. He has got like a life preserver in here, like you're saving something, and it's over the word Google, but there's nothing in the middle of it. And it just says G, the life preserver is an O-L-E, and it's like Gole. Gole?
Oh, yeah, there's no G.
Gole.
His images have been really good lately. This is
really, I mean, this is AI to the max.
Well, I think they all are, but they've been pretty good.
I mean, they're funny, yeah. Like, well, especially when things are like burning and it's like,
yeah,
like things are breaking.
This one's a bit of a miss. I think he should have tried again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it in organic. What's happening in social, Julia?
All right. First for social, TikTok takes the lead as Gen Z's go-to source for news and product discovery, which isn't surprising, and it's followed closely by Instagram. I guess the one thing that did surprise me about this was the TikTok part, because I feel like if there's news happening, I go to X, and like I feel like a lot of people do that. But yeah, so top social channels for Gen Z for news.
Wait, you have an X account?
Secret
Oh,
one.
I'm gonna find it. I found your last one.
People
That
at
is the
SMX were asking you.
I'll
asking
make
you
a
where your X account was.
I'll make a real
You need
one.
to make a professional.
This one is gonna be burnt in the depths of hell, so no one will ever find it. But I'll make
Okay.
a new one.
Julia's biz account. Make
Yeah.
that the handle.
Instagram has a new expand your image feature. So usually when you try to post
No, hate it.
yeah, well, let me finish.
Okay.
Usually when you try to post something, the app will crop the image or add white borders to make it fit properly. And like people always complain about that. So their solution was an AI-based photo expansion, which uses AI to expand and like fill the edges of the frame up. Which the like example they use is like fine, but like
No, it's not fine. Look at the branches in the tree.
okay, well,
Look at the branches in the tree. This is a terrible example.
yeah. But I just feel like it could be way worse, and it will be way worse with like most
Yeah,
other
and people's
pictures, so.
like pictures of humans.
Yeah,
This is
exactly,
a
like-
terrible idea.
It's
Yeah.
like generative fill on Photoshop. This is not good.
Yeah, I wanted to try it, but I don't have it, so
It
Make
just
next
it just adds it in. But this one,
Yeah.
the branches are exactly the same. The tree looks like trash.
yeah.
This tree
Also,
looks like
it's,
trash.
the most like yeah.
It looks like a tree's broken.
I want to see a different example.
Also, that'd be a great tree to climb. It's like a ladder.
Yeah, it would be. All right. According to a report by Local IQ, 57% of small businesses leverage AI in marketing. So 61 of them said they use AI to save time, while 50% use it to generate ideas. The study says they mostly use it for content creation, social media management, and chatbots. And they also found that Facebook was the top social media channel used by small businesses, followed by Instagram and LinkedIn. So next, from social media today, YouTube has added a new poll sticker for shorts. They're also adding new views display, so you can now see the breakdown of views by content type. So you can either see them all, videos, shorts, or lives. And then they're experimenting with super chat goals on live streams, which will essentially gamify the super chat revenue generation process.
But are you making a cantaloupe bingsu?
no.
Yes, me, or no, not for me. What is
Yes, me.
that?
I thought those were eggs initially.
Yeah, I did too. I
Are
didn't-
they like clementines?
I don't know.
I think
Whatever
it's
the
cantaloupe
example is
balls.
pretty. It looks
It's
very.
worth watching YouTube.
It looks very difficult. Go check us out on YouTube. Marketing Clock. Looks. How do you eat it? You still have to peel it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks very difficult. I think they put like a mound of ice cream on top of the cantaloupe and then stuck some oranges in it.
Yeah. Okay, next, Netflix has a new feature called Moments. It's essentially a clipping feature that'll enable you to share clips from a show to social media. I kind of like this because like I feel
Yeah.
like there's some like little clips in a show that like I just want to save maybe and like go rewatch myself. So the pause screen has a new icon at the bottom. You can click on it to capture a moment, and then when you share it, it'll link back to the full movie or show on Netflix. So
I like that a lot.
Love
yeah.
that.
Fun little update. And then last, Meta is developing a search engine to power its AI chatbot and provide real-time insights for the apps. So right now they rely on Google and Bing for their data, and they want to reduce reliance on them in case either of them ever back out of the deals. So Meta search engine coming soon. Probably not, but
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
For me this week, I just think it's so great attending in-person events and like meeting people. And I just feel like so invigorated to try new things based on the talks. And just think you got to do it like once a year. It's great. So thanks for sending me. And thanks for everyone for picking up my slack while I was gone, because it was a really crazy week and everyone's like frantic around here. So
And I'll follow you on that.
working hard.
Just something else, working hard. We're taking like 12 members of the team or something out to Brighton SEO in California, in San Diego. I jumped in to give us a talk there, and it's kind of last minute, and I asked our designer Lane to help me out with some images. I kind of had a wonky idea. Lane turned these images around better than expected. Unbelievable, amazing, uniform images in like 18 hours without me even asking him. I was like, hey, do you think you could do this? Here are my thoughts. Can you make a pair of Heelys for me? And he's like, oh, there you go. everything perfect. Unbelievable. So good. Working hard. I know AI is great, but Lane is better.
Mine's not as exciting, but hardly working for me is WordPress. I don't know why. I just struggle every single time I try and go in there and do anything. It just doesn't work correctly for me. But shout out to everyone on the dev team who always helps me and knows what to do. So
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI, people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI, people, from Braun Vanderhalen. He is really gunning for like hardest working guy in PPC.
Do we have a clock screw for that?
We should. We'll add it. Julia, you're going to have to help me with these clocks.
I'll do my best.
It's so bad. We have not been updating. Anyway, so he has this really cool guide because, you know, he's Mr. Meta Ads, and he has a chart for Meta Ads creative enhancements broken out by the ad type. He says how I select Meta Ads creative enhancements, and the text is either red for never, orange for depends, and green for always. And he just has it laid out by everything. So he never, ever, ever uses it for music. Must be pretty bad music there, but he'll use it for dynamic descriptions, relevant comments, Sitelinks. So if you want Brahms insights, make sure you follow along. And he has a newsletter, so you should subscribe.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week is over on Search Engine Land. It comes from Tim Jensen, and it's called How to Identify Untapped Opportunities in PPC. And Tim goes through his go-to formula for looking for new business opportunities with PPC. He talks about analyzing search terms, how to test new channels and campaign types, how to look at higher funnel messaging and targeting, competitor tactics. If you are new, if you're just looking for a refresh, this is a great source from Tim Jensen over on Search Engine Land. Don't miss it. Thank you, Tim.
And now on to our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. Greg, what will you be adding this week?
I'm going to go with Strangers by Mountjoy.
I will be adding So Long London by Taylor Swift. Sorry. Julia, what will you be adding?
I'm adding Love You Goodbye by One Direction because I'm still depressed about it.
Oh, all right. That does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We missed you already.
Can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin' the Heck. We're after our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just...
Shoot the heck.
Julia is hosting Shootin' the Heck this week. What are we doing today?
We're going to do some Halloween trivia.
It's my favorite kind of trivia.
Yeah.
That's my favorite game.
Right. Listen.
It's everybody's favorite game.
So they're just like general Halloween questions, a little all over.
Did you use ChatGPT?
I used ChatGPT. I used some other random websites.
Okay.
I felt like I was upsetting ChatGPT because they weren't giving me ones I wanted, and I just kept asking for more. So.
Oh, man.
Also, did you see there was a sexy Mudang costume that came out for Halloween?
No, but I'm going to look it up now.
No
It's
way.
terrifying.
I can imagine. All right, first question. What two countries are primarily credited with starting Halloween?
Greg.
Can you see my screen?
No, I would never cheat. I have integrity, Julia. How dare you question
All right,
my
if you get
integrity?
these right, I'm going to be a little suspicious.
Norway and Denmark.
No.
Chef. I'm going to say England and the United States. It was like popularized in the United States.
Oh, Sleepy Hollow. Right? Isn't that where Halloween
Save
originated?
No, but like we like made it what it is. Oh, wait, what about Mexico? You got
It's tables. Tables. You got it.
England and Mexico.
Wow, all incorrect.
these answers are wrong.
Japan.
Okay.
Germany.
Argentina.
Nope.
France.
What would you like me to tell you?
Spain.
Nope.
Portugal.
Nope.
Canada.
Nope.
They're gonna be like Holland, like
Uruguay.
something small.
They're pretty.
Chad.
Okay. Ireland and Scotland.
That was close. Do I get the point?
That is not real. Is there more info?
No, but it came to the U.S. because of Irish people. So,
Should have known that.
My grandpa would be so proud.
All right, what's next?
all right. How many pounds of candy corn are produced each year?
Greg. 2,143,000 pounds.
Okay.
2,143,001 pounds.
Okay.
3 million.
Tables wins.
Tables.
It's 35 million.
Was I supposed to go one under, not one over?
No, all tables have to do is say 1,431,002, and he would have won.
He won.
I know, but he said 3 million.
Well, he still won.
It's a game theory.
That
I
should
can't
not
get past
be real
game
either.
theory.
Who's eating candy corn?
Another candy corn question. What did it used to be called?
Greg,
Okay.
I think it was called vampire teeth.
Okay.
Inedible.
Yep. Tables, you have a guess?
No, I don't. Do we have any, reference here?
You feed this to animals, to an animal.
I think it's corn. What do you feed to an animal? You feed it
Hay?
You're never going to get it. Want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
It's chicken feed. If I'm going to give it to Shep because inedible is more accurate.
Can I be honest with you? Chickens are above that. Chickens are above
Yeah.
They are.
Who?
Yeah.
That you should go to jail if you feed your chicken.
It's disgusting. Your chickens would not be happy with you.
Where did the term trick or treat first come from?
Okay.
Like what country?
oh.
Well, you can, if you have a little story.
All I know is if you've seen Meet Me in St. Louis, they go trick-or-treating and they actually harass the homeowners and throw flour in their face. And it's really crazy.
Is there a final answer, St. Louis?
Is it country?
Yeah, it's a country.
I feel like it's the United States.
Okay.
I feel like we invented trick-or-treating.
I feel like the trick thing is really the driver of it. I'm gonna go with the UK.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Scotland.
Canada.
What?
Yeah.
They're like the
used to play-
nicest.
I
didn't know
know.
they had fun up
And
there.
they used to play pranks on people. That was the trick.
I demand a recount.
Okay, tables has one. Nobody else has anything.
What was the first individually wrapped candy for trick-or-treaters?
Greg,
Okay.
bit o' honey.
He's always talking about Beto honey. I'm going to say, is this a candy that still exists?
Yeah.
Like a peppermint.
That's a good guess.
That means I'm wrong.
Tables?
Is it like a brand name or can it be chocolate?
No, it's like a brand name. Or like a name of a candy.
Yeah, you'd have
This
to go
is-
ask for it.
This is probably off, but I'm going to say Hershey's.
I have another one. I think because of the size and shape of it, it might be M&M's.
No. It's a Tootsie Roll.
Oh,
What?
That's funny that that hard piece of strange chocolate is the one they're like, oh, let's wrap that one up. Not like something that could expire.
Oh.
Like you could have a Tootsie Roll sitting out for 16 years and it still would be the same.
Tootsie Rolls are also nasty.
Yeah, disgusting. How long is the world's largest haunted house?
Greg, 1 mile.
Okay.
Are we talking, we're talking distance?
Mm-hmm.
But it's one house?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a house that's
Well,
a
I
mile.
assume-
This is mine.
I mean,
Shouldn't it be in square feet?
I'm not sure. It is in feet. So,
Oh.
and I also had to look up how many feet are in a mile because I figured someone would say miles.
10,000 square feet.
Oh, okay. If it's square feet, I got a different.
Okay.
I thought you were saying length.
Well, I guess it's length.
First of all, doesn't it exist in Buffalo, New York on the abandoned Kmart?
Right world.
Pretty
It's an
sure.
old Kmart.
That's like
I
the
remember
biggest
shopping
haunted
there.
house.
That thing was wild. Okay, I'll go 400,000 square feet.
It's just like feet. So 400,000 feet?
Sure.
Okay.
This is a terrible question.
That's huge,
Listen.
isn't it? I was going to say 10,000 square feet.
Okay, tables.
I'm just going to go 400,001 square feet. Or feet.
so original.
Okay.
When Tables doesn't do it, you call him out. Okay. It's called game theory.
okay, yeah. I'm going to go with 300,000 feet.
Tables wins. It's 3,654 feet.
No, I win. That's
Did you
400.
say 400? He said 300.
What did you say?
3,000.
Oh, I think you said 360,000.
Where is it located?
Night tables is the winner.
I don't know.
Oh, very good information. Thank you for the follow-up, Julia.
The Frank World down the street.
Okay, well, what's really scary was this game. So we'll see you next week.